concerned?
Minimize the scrub, absolutely every little technique, cut a bit of distance off. There's so many minute little details that you can do, but ultimately it just does not have the pace, and I don't know where you can find that amount of speed, Townsend, before this session is over.
The answer is nowhere, and there's just nothing else that Jack Harvey can do here. This is a huge amount of disappointment as that last time pops up on his steering wheel, 227.9.
And that gives a 4-lap average for Bobby Rahal's one of his 4 drivers of a 228.477. There's his dad, Paul. First lap, 229.6. Wife, Courtney, watches on. Tense times.
Forget the comparison to Lundgaard. At this point, it's where do you sit with Harvey?
Yeah.
That's who you're really keying yourself off of. This could be super close between the teammates.
And these 4 cars are trying to outdo each other for the last 3 spots on the grid. Graham Rahal to the line, leapfrogs his teammate Jack Harvey, and has that all-important 33rd spot right now.
Third with an average of 229.16.
Jack Harvey on the way back in said on the radio to the team, they had the discussion and they had the very brief decision making. We're going to go again. 2.5 minutes left on the clock.
I like it, Diff. This is Indy. I'm not going down without a fight. I'm going to keep swinging. Why not?
Not 2 miles an hour, 0.2 of a mile an hour. That was the margin between himself and Graham Rahal, between being in the Indy 500 or not. Now, is he going to crush his teammate, or is he going to have to deal with the heartbreak?
Because Graham will not get a chance now with only a minute left on the clock. That gun will sound, and this is going to be it. But think about this, guys. Think about being on the highway. You're cruising around at 65 miles an hour on your cruise control. You bump it up to 66. Can you feel that at all? No. And Jack's looking for 1/5 of that difference over 10 miles.
Don't tell me what I can feel.
I know what you can and can't feel.
How about Graham Rahal? Can you imagine what it's like for him to just have to sit there and ponder his reality right now? This is just crazy brutal for Graham Rahal.
I can remember like yesterday when Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan driver Michel Jourdain Jr. did not make the field. That was 10 years ago. He was in tears with his girlfriend at the time after it was all over. He couldn't believe he didn't make it. Which one of these 2 drivers is going to feel that anguish, that despair, that heartache and heartbreak here this afternoon? Time is officially up, but this run counts for Jack Harvey. Rahal does not have a chance to respond to whatever his teammate does.
And Graham very strategically staying in the race car, even though he's not allowed back out.
Green flag.
He wants that protection just in case this all goes south. Can Jack stay ahead of the tools? Can that Honda power plant produce just enough power even in this hot condition?
I'm watching both of those hands for Jack Harvey. They are locked on the steering wheel. That must mean he's happy with the balance. But like I said, think about trying to get ahead of the degradation of the tires.
Lap 1 from a balance standpoint looks pretty solid, Townsend. Not a lot of sliding, not a lot of corrections.
1 lap complete.
Here we go. 229.4. It's not as fast as what Graham Rahal's first lap was, but it doesn't mean that he's out of it.
You see Bobby Rahal shaking his head. I'm not sure what he's shaking at. Remember, is it doubting Jack's run? Is it doubting the performance of the team overall? What does he see? What is he thinking? Where does Jack Harvey really sit on pace?
Just remember the consistency that he had in the end of that last run. If he found a trick to take care of these Firestones for those 4 laps, that 229.4, if he can keep it within a few tenths of a mile an hour degradation, that could be it.
Lap 2, 229 even. And that gives a 2-lap average of 229.2.
It was that 3rd lap that really impressed us in the last run, guys. If he can keep it at a 229 even, it's still going to be close.
On the front bar if you're still neutral.
See, there's the team telling him to make the adjustment as opposed to Jack making the adjustment. So that's based on the team scene data.
Credit to Jack Harvey and the People Ready team aboard the 30. They have not given in. They are fighting to the end. And the end is now. One more lap for Jack Harvey. Lap 2:29.1.
Wait a second. Maybe that adjustment was the difference. That right hand went down twice for the roll bar. And now Graham Rahal is at risk.
Graham Rahal's heart is in his throat, sitting in his race car. He is 2 corners away from knowing whether or not he will be in the greatest spectacle in racing.
This is a guy on the ropes, but he is swinging punches.
Hit your marks, Jack Harvey. Smooth hands, eyes up, and take a breath. You're about to find out if you're in the Indy 500.
Don't ever question the character of Britain's Jack Harvey. He's not giving up. Is he in the 500 or is he out? Jack Harvey's in! Jack Harvey is in the Indy 500. Graham Rahal is out. 30 years since his dad didn't make it. It's the same fate for Graham Rahal.
1/100th of a mile an hour was the difference.
Oh,
Over, you are in the race.
What an incredible call.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
wow.
Incredible call from the 30 team to do that last run in the dying seconds.
It was not meant to be this way, but it is. The most dramatic final qualifying. The last chances, teammate on teammate. And Jack Harvey has bumped Graham Rahal out of the Indianapolis 500.
And for Jack Harvey, when he was told he was in the Indianapolis 500, there was no scream of excitement, because I think he knows what it also meant. He and Graham are very close. Graham is one of the reasons why Jack Harvey is a part of this team. What are your emotions right now? You have qualified when it seemed impossible for the biggest race in the world.
I don't even know what to say, mate, honestly. It's a huge effort by the 30 car. All the guys who worked really hard to make this possible. I think it's no secret that it's been a struggle, and even honestly the first 2 runs in qualifying weren't awesome, and you know, the hope was that all 3 of our cars could make it. I hate that it was us who bumped Graham out, but I'm grateful to be in the race. This is such a privilege to be able to do this in the first place, and the stress of Bump Day is absolutely real, but it doesn't change my love for this place. I absolutely love it, and just grateful to be here, having another shot to try and compete.
This should be one of the greatest moments of your life. When it looked desperate, it looked like it wasn't going to happen, and it did, but the celebration is muted, I think, because of what it means for the team and what it means for Graham.
Oh, it's bittersweet, mate. I mean, you don't want to knock your teammate out. You know, I think the goal was to try and obviously get all 3 cars in, and any moment that we get to compete at this place, I just think is amazing. And I just got to say thanks to the whole 30 team. You know, our people ready car hasn't been the fastest, but you know, the work that they have put in, the grit that they show, the determination. And before the last run, I said to them, realistically, do you think we can even like improve? And they said, yeah, I think we can improve. So just ready for this day to be over, honestly.
Logically, it did not seem like it would be impossible to improve. Each run, the car should be slower. Where did you find the extra speed?
Just in a bit of balance, mate, honestly. I think the first run we were scrubbing too much, and you know, I was kind of neutral. I was kind of neutral in the second run as well. So just, I mean, honestly, we only had time for a quick wind change and went out again. And I mean, just the format of this, you know, kind of sucks. You know, we got 3 efforts. None of the other cars even got 1, which I guess is testament that they had a better first run than us. But yeah, I don't know. It's an amazing feeling and an awful feeling at the same time.
Congratulations. He may be from England, but this is now a hometown race for Jack Harvey, who's lived in Indy the last 10 years, and he's in the Indy 500.